Welcome to Flash CS5 Tutorial 39, Jigsaw Puzzle Completed. It's a follow-up to Tutorial 38, the locking jigsaw puzzle, and I have that opened on my computer monitor right now. Now we're going to have something happens when the puzzle is completely put together. Going to start by locking the layers. Select frame 1 of my action script, open my action panel, and what we want to do is make sure that something happens when all the pieces are put together. So right here at the very beginning of my action script, I'm going to type in these 4 variables. So you're going to start off var, that'll turn purple, and I'm calling it CNT capital P1. It's the count for piece 1. Colon, number, capital NUMBER, that'll turn blue, equals 0, semicolon, and just copy that, paste it 3 times, change the 1 to a 2, then to a 3, and to a 4, and this is how we're going to keep track. Come down to piece 1, where the target test is, right here. And at the end of this line where we're telling the piece 1 to go, type in this code, type. That's at CNT capital P1, that's that number variable we just made, equals 5. So when it hits here, it's going to make that count equal 5 instead of 0. Copy this, go down to piece 2, right here at the end, paste it, change the 1 to a 2, and you have to do all your pieces. I can paste it again, make it a 3, and in my case I'm down to my last one. I can paste it again and turn it into a 4. So now you have to do all your pieces like that. So at the very bottom of your program, you should have 2 curly brackets. I want to be between them, and now what I'm going to do is count up when these pieces hit. So I'm going to put in a little test here. It's a if open bracket, capital CNT capital P1, that piece, plus, so what I did was I wrote that, copied it, pasted it, changes the 1 to the 2, change it to a 3, and change it to a 4. So each time one of these pieces is put in, I got 5 put in those variables. When I get all the pieces put together, there should be a total of 20. So therefore, when CNT P1 plus P2 plus P3 plus P4 equals, you need 2 equal signs, 20, there's a closed bracket after the 20. Then I know that my puzzle is together. There's my open curly bracket, and we're just going to do a trace for now. TRACE, that turns blue. Open bracket, quotation mark 20, quotation mark, close bracket, semicolon, and another curly bracket. And again, I should have 2 curly brackets, and let's test this out. So when my puzzle is put together, I should have a trace of 20. So put this one in first. It doesn't matter what order you put them in. And if I look down here, I am tracing 20, and tracing 20, and tracing 20, and tracing 20. Back to the main timeline. And what I'm going to do is click on my library panel, and I have a movie clip called Windmill. There it is. Anyone that started the first tutorial and followed this format has this windmill or something similar. If you didn't do this and you have a JPEG in here, then what you do is you click here, symbol, make a movie clip, call it my picture, my pic underscore MC, should call it, and select that frame, open the library panel, and drag your picture, for example, onto that screen. Okay, So this is your picture, representing your picture. So that's what you would be doing right now. You would be doing that, dragging it on the screen. The next 10 or 15 minutes of this tutorial is for the people that are doing the animated windmill simulation. So you can, if you're doing the JPEG and you don't want to watch all the information for the windmill, you can jump up to around the 19-minute mark, and there you'll pick up what you need to know to finish off your JPEG jigsaw puzzle. If on the other hand you had the windmill, you would have this setup. So what I'll do is I'll finish this setup with the windmill, and then I'll finish it again using the JPEG. So we'll finish off using the windmill. Let's go back to scene 1, and let's select the border layer, insert a layer, call it windmill, and put capital MC so I know it's the windmill movie clip is coming here. And open your library panel and drag that windmill onto the stage. Make your stage just a little bit smaller and move it around so it fits inside of this square as best as you possibly can, inside of this black rectangle. There. Once we have it there, now just take the border and you can put the border on top, and that'll correct some mistakes for us. Let's go select frame 1 of the actions panel, open it, and down here, instead of just tracing 20, we're going to say windmill underscore MC period, go to small GTO AND capital A PLAY bracket 2 bracket semicolon. So when we finish the puzzle, we're going to jump to this windmill frame 2. So let's open that movie clip up. Go back to the timeline. Here it is. I want you to select everything here. Just select it like that. Click till you get that, drag it till you get that fuzzy squares. Drag that over here. So now frame 1 is empty. Insert a layer. Action script, AS. And put a stop in here. STOP, open close bracket, semicolon. Now, and then it's going to jump to this frame here. So let's see what actually happens when we put the puzzle together. Undefined, sure. I know what the problem is. We didn't tell it. Go back to scene 1 and unlock the windmill layer. Select it. It's here, but we can't see it because we made the frame 1 blank, but that's it right there. If I highlight it, which I did, open my properties panel, see windmill, let's give it a name. WIN WIND MILL underscore MC. So we gotta go back into my action script and change that. Close that up. Open this actions panel. It's WIND windmill. Now let's test it. And it's going to do that flickering again when we test it out, but capital D. It's going to be a rough one. Where did I put the capital? Opening my actions panel. There. Small d. And Let's make sure it's a small d here. Yeah, now should be a little better. No errors. There. See how it jumped into that frame? Now we got a nice clean picture. Those of you that had JPEGs, that's what you're going to end up doing. Let's go back into that library, back into that windmill movie clip, and now we're going to put some animation into it. Right here, insert or convert to blank keyframe. Open the so that's a blank keyframe now. Open the actions panel and type stage period add event listener, small a, capital E, capital L. We've done these, been doing these all along. Open bracket, capital E, VENT, event, period. This is all large letters. Enter underscore frame, comma, and I'm calling this ent frame, ENTFR, capital E, capital F. Close bracket, semicolon, function, turns purple. Copy this, paste it here. Open bracket, little e, colon, event, EVENT, capital E, close bracket, colon, void. Void's the same color as function. There's my open curly bracket, my close curly bracket. And we're going to, in a minute, name a part of that windmill prop. PROPP, capital P, underscore MC. That's going to be the name of it. And here's the rest of the syntax. Period. Rotation, ROTATION, turns blue if it's spelt right. Plus equals means rotated by X amount of degrees. In this case, it's going to be 10 degrees. Every time we enter this frame, we'll do that. And I think we're somewhere around 24 frames a second, something like that. So every time we enter this frame, we will rotate this propeller 10 degrees. And naturally a closed bracket. So now we got to go back and name something PROPP. Go back to your timeline. Make sure all the layers are locked. Unlock this prop layer. Select this second frame and it highlights. Come up here, modify, convert it to a symbol, movie clip, and it was PROPP underscore MC. That's what we called it. While it's still selected, we'll give it the same instance name, PROPP underscore MC. So now that should start turning when we do this. And I'm going to make up a couple of tweens for my bees. Okay, I put in 2 sets of tweens for my bees. If we look at the little bees, you can do these by now. They're going to move around. And then we got to bring everything else up to this frame. So here and here, insert keyframes. Come right down here to the bottom, insert keyframes. And at the actions layer, the last one, let's tell it to go back to frame 2. So open that up. GOTO, go to, capital AND, PLAY, capital P, open bracket 2, close bracket, semicolon. And unless we try it, we don't know what's not working. Let's test it out. I don't see any errors back here yet. That locked in place, that locked in place, that locked in place, and it moved and it's spinning, but the bees didn't move. Why is that? I think we're stuck on frame 1. Let's go back to timeline on scene 1. Open the Actions panel and look down the very bottom. Windmill. Go to and play frame 2. Oh, yeah. Okay. What's happening now is, because this is always staying true, the movie clip windmill can never leave this frame 2. And in frame 2, the propeller is being told to turn by action script. So we're never getting to frame 3. So we got to do something in here in this action script to allow us to do that. So let's go back to, I'm on scene 1. Let's go back to the top of the action script, and I'm going to insert another variable. It's var, V-A-R. It's called comp, capital C-O-M-P, as in completed, colon number, turns blue, capital M-N, equals 0. And we're going to test that. So right here, after this first curly bracket, you're going to type in this information. 2 backslashes, so we can just put a comment in here, and we're saying comp equals 0, that's this, will be true when the puzzle's not completed. Okay, that's just so comp will equal 0 now. If open bracket, capital C-O-M-P equals 0, close bracket, open curly bracket, that's just a test to make sure that the puzzle is not quite together yet. When the puzzle is completely put together, we'll turn comp into a 1. And way down the bottom here, we have to put in a curly bracket for that. So down here, after this one, put in a curly bracket. Now, way down the bottom, when we finally have the results that all the pieces are together, we can take this trace out. So I'm just going to comment it out. And after this windmill movie clip, we're going to say comp, C-O-M-P, that's that variable we just made, which is 0, make it equal to 1. So comp equal 1, semicolon, so that when the puzzle is put together and all the pieces are together, normally it would come back in here and do it all over, but now it can't because it says I'm testing for comp to be 0. I want to do one more thing before I do the final test. Open that windmill movie clip and select the second last layer, the one under the action script, insert it, call it text, T-E-X-T, insert a keyframe on frame 2, and I want to put some text here. So with that frame 2 of the text layer selected, pick up your text tool, pick up any font or any color you want, and right here put in a little box that says, congratulations, you completed the puzzle. So now let's give this a final try. Zaps that one in, that one locks in, that one locks in. Congratulations, you completed the puzzle. Now, for those that use the windmill and the animation, you're finished. I now want to go back to the people that used a JPEG. I'm back on scene 1. Okay, select the top layer, in your case the border layer, insert a layer, and call it movie clip. Call it picture movie clip, P-I-C, and movie clip. Open your library panel, and we made a movie clip called My Picture. So I'm going to double click on that, and in your case you should have your JPEG here. This should be your JPEG. If it isn't, then go back and see earlier in the video how to put the JPEG on this my picture movie clip. And let's just call that picture, P-I-C-T. Go back to scene 1. Open up the library panel and drag my picture onto the stage on this first frame of this pick movie clip. Make the stage smaller, 50%, and this should be the only thing that's unlocked. Highlight it, and using your arrow keys, move it over and get it into the center of that as best possible. Then come up to the timeline and put the border above the picture. Lock all these layers. Go to the library. Open that movie clip that we have your JPEG on. Select that first frame. You get those fuzzy square. Click on it, drag it. Now there's nothing in frame 1. Insert a new layer, action script, and in that frame, select frame 1 of the actions layer and put a stop in there. S-T-O-P, open close bracket. Go back to scene 1. Open the actions panel. And down here at the bottom where we did this trace, 2 backslashes to comment that out. And now what we want to do is direct the playhead to that movie clip, my pick, capital M, capital P, underscore MC. That's that movie clip that has your JPEG on it. Period. Go to and play, small g, small t, capital A. Actually, let's go to and stop. S-T-O-P, capital S, open bracket, 2, close bracket, semicolon. Let's open that once more. That movie clip. Let's go back to the timeline of that movie clip. Select the pick layer. Make sure all the layers are locked. Insert a layer, call it text. T-E-X-T. Insert a blank keyframe in frame 2. And using your text tool in any color you want, make a text box here and type in this. Congratulations, you completed the puzzle. So now hopefully when we put the puzzle together, while we're putting it together, it'll be sitting in this frame. When the whole thing is together and we added up all those pieces and got 20, it should jump to this frame. Let's see if it works. Oh, I got an error. I didn't okay, yep. We didn't give it an instance name. Go back to scene 1. Go back to the timeline. Select this my picture frame, and that little thing there is your picture. You can't see it because it's sitting on frame 1. Open up the properties panel and give it this name, MYPIC underscore MC, and let's give that a try. No errors this time, that's good. And as soon as this puzzle gets close, and this would be your JPEG that you're working with, it jumps in, and that would be your final puzzle. I hope you learned something from this tutorial, and I hope you use what you learned.